Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your online business. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to give it a couple seconds because I have invited a few people on, and few people are going to get on. Um, PK, first person to jump on the plane at 2 a.m. Coming to California. What's happening, folks? If you're joining me live, you got to comment so I know you're here. Otherwise, I don't know you're here. Um, so it's a decent hour, right? T Money, what? It's a decent hour, right? Even for the East Coasters. Come on now. It's not like, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's a decent hour. And I'm actually both excited and I don't want to call it nervous, but it's kind of, I've never shared some of these stories, and it's going to be very humbling and I'm going to be very transparent. So I'm only going to share some of these stories. Well, I'm going to share some of these stories because um, I feel like it's really going to fire somebody up. And that may be you, that may be somebody in your team. By the way, if you got your teammates, you can tag them here. This is a very safe zone. Nobody talks about their companies or products. So, it's a safe zone. So if you want to tag, this is definitely going to be one of those you want to tag your teammates. Got some good stories for you. So, this is my convention week. Convention is in the house. Now, some of you may say, like, what the heck is convention, right? Some of you may not even know what convention is. But what it is for those of us who are in the direct sales, network marketing, um, whatever. I mean, these days they have convention for everything. But if you're in a direct sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, any type of team building online kind of thing, then once a year at least, or twice a year, depending on the company, they have what's called a convention. And this is where, from all around the world, all the distributors, if you call them, all the reps, all the marketers, everybody and anybody who's really serious about building a business or getting some serious hands-on training, they come to this one place. Now, usually they put it in a place where it's kind of central to everyone, right? So it's not like way off that nobody can go to, right? It's usually either Las Vegas or um, Utah or California or Florida, these places. North Carolina, yes, North Carolina. I actually went there. So there's some central places that everybody around the world comes. Now, if the company has been around for a little bit, right? If the company has been around, Dallas, Texas, yes, that's a big one. If the company's been around for a little bit, then it's exciting because you got a whole lot of people coming, right? Now, keep in mind too, some of these people may be on your team, some of these people may not be on your team, you may not even have a team, you know what I mean? So you being there and having all these people from all different countries come and just like everybody, nobody's against you, nobody's saying is this a pyramid, everybody's like all lovey and dovey and all this stuff, right? So the environment, everybody is great, right? 6,000 already have tickets to an event. So I have been events to where I think it was 14,000 people. I want to say 14,000 people were in that event. So you got all these kinds of people. And then you got those events where this is like their first event or their second event, right? And you got like 500 people, 1,000 people. You're like pioneers. You're the beginning of the beginning, right? And that's all wonderful. I'm not here to talk about any of that stuff. I did have to build it up. What I'm here to talk about is all the behind the scenes, all the messages and all the announcements and all the texts and all the begging and the pleadings from the uplines to get you to go to the event. That's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm not your upline. Well, maybe for some of you I am. Yeah, 14,000. Yeah. I remember that event too. So I'm going to talk about that, right? Now, I'm not your upline. Well, maybe for some of you I am. But if you know my style, okay, if you know my style, if you are from my team, and I don't even call it upline, downline, because I feel like that's just so labeling, right? So I have a motto for our team, and it says "We build together," and there's just no like, you know what I mean. So I don't really get it, but some people are on my team on this live, right? If you're on my team, you know my style already. If you want to come, you come. If you know how important it is, if you can get there, you get there. If I can help you, I help you. If I can, I can. If you can, you can't. That's, I mean, nobody's going to put a, like, you know, nobody feels bad about anything. And I know everybody's plugged in. That's all that matters, right? So that's my style. Now, some uplines are, you got to get to an event. You got to get to an event. And you know what? Here's what I got to tell you. Are you ready for this? This is going to be a little heart-to-heart, transparent. I haven't shared this stuff ever, like with another human being, even, right? So I'm actually going to talk about that North Carolina. Who said T Money said North Carolina? I'm going to talk about that North Carolina event. I think you may have been there. I was there. That's funny you said that. That's one of my stories. So I want to share with you some of my convention stories, and maybe it'll inspire you. Maybe it'll make you think the next time your convention comes around and you want to just utter the words, "Oh, I can't go." I want you to really think about it before you say those words. I'm here to tell you, forget about your upline. Forget it. Forget about the company announcements. Forget about that stuff. Forget about your upline. Forget about the guilt. Put all that stuff aside. We're talking about you and that link to that convention blinking at you, saying buy the ticket, and you're like, I can't go. I'm not talking about anything else. You feel me? Throw some hearts. Why do I not have any hearts on the video already? Glow, glow. What's going on? Come on now. Don't be shy. Don't be freezing on me there. Oh, I don't know if I went live on Instagram. Oh my goodness. I don't think I went live all this stuff. So I want to give you a couple of stories. The very first time that I really got in, and this won't be long. I promise you. I'm not going to make this like a 3-hour live. I got stuff to do. The first really company that I got into that I really decided to actually, like, build and get excited about, It was back, and again, no company drops. It was back in 2008, September 2008, right? So I signed up for this company and I got all excited. And the team, we were going to go to convention in November or December of that same year in Las Vegas. Now, this is back in 2008, right? So I have no idea what the heck is going on. Like, I literally have no idea what they're talking about convention. They're like, you got to go to convention. I'm like, okay. I have like no clue. They're like, you got to pay like a couple hundred, I think it was like $150 or something. They're like, yeah, it's $150. I'm like, I just bought a package. They're like, yeah, but this happens to be like, I'm like, whatever. Okay. I had to borrow both of the money. That's a whole other life. So I'm all like, all right, convention, right? I have no idea what's going on. Like, I have no money to go eat there or get a hotel. Are you kidding me? Like, I had to borrow the $150 for the ticket. I'm just going because everybody says you gotta go. It's like, okay. I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know you gotta like build a business like that or so we go to Vegas, right? We go and we're like piled into this one car, like 18 of us in one car. You know what I mean? Like 18 of us in one room. We're like, every person chips in like $30. Like everybody's like on top of each other. It was funny. It was a bunch of broke people going to Vegas for convention. I go to convention, right? And I'm like, what the heck just happened? Like, what is this world? This is like so cool. Like, everybody loves on everybody. I was like fired up. Yeah. Like, I felt like I could just like, I don't know. I felt like I could fly. You know what I mean? I felt like, yeah. I don't know. Have you ever gone to a convention? So, any of you guys who've been to a convention, maybe throw some hearts or fire or something. Let me know if you've ever been to a convention like that. And then I come off, right? I come off, I'm like, okay. So that was 2008. Now I'm not going to share with you all of them, okay? But I do want to share a couple with you that I've never shared, and they're gonna surprise you. But I'm praying that it would inspire you more than it would surprise you. Okay. So I started going to conventions in 2008. And then I went year after year. Okay. I didn't miss a year. I went year after year. Every year I went, I was more broke than the year before, which was weird. That's not how it's supposed to work, right? Every year I went, I was more broke than the year before. I never, and this is the truth, again, some of you are on my team, you not know this. I never, ever, ever went to a convention because an upline told me to. Never. You can ask my upline. She'll tell you. Never. I went because I wanted to go. Because it was an environment that I had to put myself into to build my business, to just get my recharge, right? Now, here's the other thing. Hold on. So I've gone year after year. Now, the North Carolina event, okay? The North Carolina event was in North Carolina. And we were a team that we were going to go to North Carolina. And I don't know how much of it I'm going to tell you. That's the reason why I'm kind of slow with it. I was responsible for getting the room for three of us. Me, um, two other guys, right? And I booked the ticket. I booked the hotel for the 3 nights, and I bought myself a plane ticket and waited for convention in North Carolina. And I was very excited because there was somebody there who was at the time, some of you know, don't drop any names. She was the number one earner in the whole entire world in that company. And she was going to be there. And I was so excited to meet her. And this is back when, there's no social media stuff going on like this, right? We're talking, I don't remember what year it was. I want to say 2000. I want to say 2010. Yeah, it must have been a couple years after. I want to say 2010. So booked the tickets. So the convention time is here. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I got my carry on. I'm ready to rock and roll. Get on the plane. I get there and my boys are there. Team is there. Everybody's there. We're all excited. And we check in. We go in the room. My boys say, "Hey, we're gonna go out down to the the lobby and meet and greet everybody, and we'll see you down in a few." Sumir namaste. And I'm like, "All right, no problem." So this is like, I don't know, few minutes after, and then I get a call in the room. Man, get a call in the room that says, Mr. Azimi, your card declined. So you either got to pay or you got to empty the room. And here I am, responsible for the room for three of us, made a commitment. We're gonna obviously figure it out at the end and split. But now I'm supposed to go tell everybody that, hey, by the way, not only I don't want to be responsible, you got to pay for me too. That was my North Carolina event. I went to that event. I mingled with everybody. I have pictures from that event. Nobody can tell what happened except a few of us. Next year I won again. It's pretty bad. Worse than before. And then I moved to Michigan. I don't want to give you a couple other ones in between, but that hotel one is a pretty big one. Then I go to Michigan, right? Then I go to Michigan. The company I was with gets shut down when I'm there, and decide to obviously go to another company, the company I'm with now. And the person that I was with, the relationship I was with, it was just a horrible situation for both of us. She hated network marketing, direct sales, social media, online, like with every fiber in her being, right? Like, right? Like every night she would come in to my room and she would say, we would, it would, that's a whole, I mean, that's just, anyway, she would come in the room and say, "Hey, your followers went up." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Why?" I go, "Because I'm growing it." "No, when are you going to close this down?" I'm like, let's go with never, right? So she was very, She was very, but I laugh now, but back then, T Money was involved back then with me. That's when I kind of started my lives. But she hated everything about direct sales, network marketing. And then when I was with her, I joined this company. So she even hated the, yeah, it just was bad, right? So the first event comes up. There's a reason why I tell you this. The first event comes up, and a lot of people, I wasn't really so involved with a lot of folks as I am now back then. So not a lot of people knew about me, but there were a few who knew about me and really were like excited to meet me, right? At the event, at the first event that this company that got shut down, all these people came over here. They had this event, and a lot of us were going to go there. So it was supposed to be a really big thing, right? And of course, I laugh now, man. It's good to be able to laugh at it now. Of course, I bring it up to her, right? I go, hey, there's a event and stuff. Do you want to go? And she's all like, first she says yes, and then she goes, no. Are these people going to be there? I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, I don't want to. So it was bad. So I'm going to shorten this. So while I was there, 52 months. This is a very huge point. I want you to pay real good attention here, folks. Okay. I have never told this to anybody. The hotel one, I hadn't told anybody either. In fact, the person who took care of the hotel told me not to tell anybody. And I don't think he ever did, which was really cool. And I just told the whole world. Great job, Sean. Anyway, with Michigan, though, I was still involved with the team, trying to grow a team, trying to let everybody know of the announcements and the calls. That's kind of what the role I've taken on for years. And I remember I couldn't go. Obviously, I didn't go to the first event. In fact, I didn't go to the second event or third. I didn't go to the fourth, the fifth, the seventh, the 10th, the 12th. I didn't go to the 14th event. I didn't go to the 15th event either. In fact, I didn't go to the 16th event either. I didn't go to 16 events in a row. And yet I plugged in online to every single event via, back then was Telescope or Periscope or something like that. It was Periscope, and then there was Facebook, and Facebook started to allow videos and lives. So I attended every single event remotely. So I couldn't go, right? Again, was upline on my ass? Hell yeah. Did people make me feel guilty? Yes. Did people make me feel bad? Yes. I didn't know how to answer them back then. I was very green, right? So did I feel bad? Yeah. Did I kick myself? Yeah. Did I take it out on her a little bit? Yeah. But I never took my eyes off convention. 16 events. I went down in the basement and watched it on my phone. And then I came out here. And then 2010, we had our event here in my hometown, which was amazing because then I didn't have to buy tickets, flight tickets, and hotel. Well, here's what happened. For the first time, I was with my ex at the time, brand new relationship, and I didn't have a place to live when I went to that convention. I didn't have money for parking. I was dead broke. And I still did my lives in parking lots. In fact, one of the lives is in the parking lot of the hotel of where we were staying. One night I left something behind and I went back to get it and I couldn't find it. Search, looked, finally found it, came back, got in the car to leave, and the gate was open and I didn't have to pay. I was so happy because that $15 I saved for the next day. But nobody knew that. I went to convention. 2 years ago, I went to Utah. This year, why I'm going to wrap it up with this, why I'm so blessed and so grateful is that not only my convention is down the street from, well, half an hour away from me, give or take, but I have a beautiful place that I can come home to after convention. I can literally make myself a sandwich, which I always thought that would be so cool. I never thought, oh, I would save a few bucks. I'd be like, well, that's kind of cool, like to make a sandwich from home and then go to convention. So I'm gonna do that one of the days. I'm gonna make a sandwich and feel like that's really cool, you know. And but why I want to tell you that is this: what would have happened if I stopped going to convention in 2008? After that one time that we were like 15, literally, I think it was 9 or 10 of us in one room. Most of them were Asian. You guys know the team. Most of them were Asian, so they were small little people. We're like 9, 10 people in one room. Literally, no kidding. 2 queen beds, 9 of us. What would have happened if I didn't go next year? What would have happened if I stopped going the time in North Carolina that I got when the lady called me in the room? I literally, I don't know if you ever felt like this. I felt like this bucket. I just feel it now too. I felt this bucket of just ice cold water. Just I felt so ashamed because that was the era that I had lost everything. That was the time that my house was in for. I had lost my house. I had lost my 2 bikes. I had lost my 401k, my savings, everything I had. I had lost. I had lost my business, everything. Right. So I was trying to do this to build up. What if I had stopped going to convention? What if those 16 times, which was 8 years, or about 7 years? No. 16 times, there was three of them. So there was like 5 years, right? So what if those 5 years I never attended, or I just made an excuse and said, well, she doesn't want me to go, so I'll just. I'm here to tell you this. If there's a convention, if there's an event with your company, if you're like one of those that like, oh, that's kind of cool, then you're not in the business, right? I mean, we know that, right? You don't have to like admit it. We're just not, you're not in the business. Okay. Like that's cool is not like somebody who's in business. Imagine if you're like at work and they say, hey, there's a Friday meeting, right? And you're like, well, that's cool. They'd be like, did you hear what I said? There's a meeting on Friday. Like the right answer is I'll be there. What time? Not, oh, that's cool. That's right. So if somebody says, oh, your convention, and somebody has to tell you when it is, it's like, listen, you're not really in the business. Okay. But if you're in the business, okay, if you really want, I want to build this business. If you really want to, then don't tell yourself like I can't, and I find a way. Listen, borrow somebody's phone if you have to. Watch it on their phone. Go in a library, log into your social media, watch it from there. Don't be like, oh, well, I couldn't go. I don't know if that really flies these days. And then here's the thing. You may say, oh, you know what? Like somebody may say, well, what happened? Like well, I couldn't go. And they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. Well, they're not in business either. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to feel bad or guilty. This is what you like. If you want to build, and if you want to learn, if you want to stay connected, if you want to be on top of things, if you want to learn about new products, if you want to learn about the new system, if you want to learn about the new people that are joining, the people that are leaving, what's happening to the company, what's happening to the economy, these don't come in a cliff note version. You got to kind of be plugged in with your brand, right? And what I'm sharing with you, the reason why I shared a couple of stories like that with you is that because, look, like I said, I never went to a convention because an upline told me to. Okay, no, that's not true. Because the first time it's because my upline told me to. Oh, no, I can't use that anymore now. Okay, except for the first time, right? Except for the first time, I never went to convention because somebody made me to or said you gotta go. No, man, why wouldn't I go? Like I'd love to go. Like we got about 5,000 people that are gonna be coming down the street from me, and we're gonna say hey, what up? High five each other, love on each other, and like why wouldn't you go? It doesn't make any sense. Forget about the business and stuff. Like, why wouldn't you go? When everybody like loves everybody, right? So yeah, conventions are gonna happen in your business. They're 2, maybe even 3 times a year, but at least once a year. So when you get into business, when you get into profession, don't get into profession thinking, well, I'm just gonna do this from my phone. It's like this. Are you ready for this? Some of you may not like this, but I'm going to tell you straight up. This is exactly how it is. It's like this. It's like you give your life to Jesus, you become born again, right? You repent your sins, and you become a born again Christian, and you never go to church. That's exactly the same as you getting into network marketing and never going to convention. Why do you think people go to church? Is it because of the free donuts? Well, some do. Why do people go to church? Because they go there because everybody hates on each other? No. Because people go there, they love on each other. They learn something. Isn't that what a convention is? You go there, you belong there. You feel like you belong here. People love on you. You're learning something. You become a Christian, you don't go to church, You're like, I just read the Bible. Same thing with conventions. Like, I just, read my pamphlets. I got a website, right? Look, some of these things you got to commit to when you get in this profession, this business. Don't fool yourself. This is not like people, again, you treat this like These things are not worth anything, but they are. These mean things to your business. Look, when I sit here and tell you about my stories, that inspires somebody. What if I sat here and I said, "Hey, listen, all these conventions, I got into my private plane and I was just boom there." You're like, "What?" I had a kid that had to sell his bed. I'm not kidding with you. He sold his bed to come to convention with me. Oh, here's another thing I gotta tell you. Except for 2 years, I've never have had a team member with me. I've always gone alone, except for 2 years. The first 2 years, very first 2 years. I've never had anybody. I've never had a team member, ever, ever. Except for the first 2 years. But I've never had a team member. I've always gone alone. Some of you have like 5, 6, 3, 4 people there, and you're like still not going. It's like, what? It's like a way to get away together. It's awesome. Anyway, hopefully you guys get some kind of a love out of this. It may not be network marketing direct sales. It may be something else. But I want to share with you that there is commitment that you got to make. And you got to kind of look, 16 times I didn't go. I'm not saying get in the plane and go. If you can't go, you can't go. How am I supposed to tell you go if I haven't gone 16 times, right? So for 16 times, I haven't gone, right? But I made it a point to somehow watch it, get it live, and consume the content and just push everything else aside, treat myself like I'm there, and just handle business. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love. Wow, I talked a lot. You guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. So my convention starts Thursday, but we got PK actually is coming out here and is going to spend the day with me tomorrow, which is very exciting. Very exciting. I get to have one of his special steaks. He's gonna actually make steak for me, which is I'm very blessed. That's gonna, of course, we're gonna blast that off social media. You're gonna see what's up. But I'm very excited. I'm picking him up from the airport tomorrow, and yeah, convention week this week. So I may be a little less on social media. I don't like to share videos from convention. That's not my style. A lot of people do. I just don't. It would have to be extremely something that's just like, and then I share. I'm not that guy. So I know a lot of people do. I just don't. I know PK is waking up at 2:00 in the morning, you guys, to get on the plane. I'm just saying. But he's so excited. I'm excited too. I'm very excited. Again, because I'm so blessed. Like I have a beautiful place. Like he gets to see my place. And I have never been this blessed that convention has been my town. I have my own place. I have a couple bucks to my name. So just what can I tell you? So hopefully, if you guys feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you got to do, baby. Share away. And with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your online business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.